I'm excited.
I really like the cover.
I love the cover, and I love this art, too.
I really like the monster. I don't know if I like the paneling.
Me too. Whoops. What did I do?
It's funny, we can't help ourselves but start reviewing it before it.
Yeah, you start talking about it. Oh, did you see that?
Actually, there were some parts where I really did like the paneling. Now I'm looking at a certain page.
We didn't catch up with our weekly rundown. What'd you do this weekend?
Oh man, it was a 3-day weekend, and I drove to the West Coast from the East Coast. It's like a 3-4 hour drive, and then I booked an Airbnb and stayed on the beach, which was awesome.
Whoa! And what was the holiday?
It was Labor Day.
No, but it's called something different down there, right?
No, they have Labor Day like how we have Labor Day, but it's just on a different day.
But they call it, didn't you tell me it was, had something to do with, the province that you're in?
Oh, no, that's actually the next 3-day weekend. I had them mixed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Canterbury Day.
Cool.
That's in a couple weeks.
And you're gonna shoot fireworks off, or?
I'm not really sure. Actually, they have like a big fair, I guess, like a rodeo kind of thing.
Oh, right on, rodeo. Hi, and welcome to Seattle's #1 comic book podcast. This is the podcast dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite comic, and I am Larry.
I'm James.
And this week we're going to be talking, it's episode 119, and this week we're talking about the legendary Alan Moore and Swamp Thing, the saga of the Swamp Thing. This came out.
Make my heart sing.
This came out in January of 1984. James wasn't even born yet. Just born.
It wasn't.
No?
91.
Oh my God. I was born. But I wasn't reading comics when I was born. But I have read this one since, and so did James. So we're going to talk about it.
So actually, I was going to dive right into it, but Larry, I forgot. We need to do a recent and a decent.
Recent and decent.
What do you got on the docket?
This one's funny.
It's a funny one. Oh, good.
It's super funny. And I only just started reading it. It's a very, very big 74 pages for $3.99 on Comixology. And it's recent and decent for sure, but it was originally published by Tin Star Studios in 2004, but only now can you get it on Comixology. So it falls in the parameters of recent and decent.
All right, I'll count it.
Don't give me a hard time. It's called The Furious Fist of the Drunken Monkey.
Oh, that's a good name.
It's
the main character a monkey?
The main character is a monkey named Chimp. No, what is his name? I'm blanking on his name right now, but it is
Chimpy Chuck, and
it is written and drawn by Richard
Dawkins.
Stahnake. It's Stahnke. Stahneke. Anyway, it's a very funny, as you would imagine, main character Chimp who you wouldn't have imagined this. He has been fired twice from the same fast food restaurant, only to be given powers from an alien spaceship, and hilarity ensues. It's very one-liney, lots of jokes, and lots and lots of strippy type antics. And it's very funny. I've only read the first 10 pages of it, so I can't give it my full throat, but I love monkeys. And the first, like, if you are on the fence, go to, Furious Fist of the Drunken Monkey on your Comixology and read the first 3 pages for free.
All right.
And you will...
Just the first 3 pages?
The first 3
I didn't know
pages are available. There are, a lot of times Comixology will give you the first 3 pages for free, what's inside.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
And you can kind of judge for yourself. And on the power of those first 3 pages, I was sold. It's called The Furious Fist of the Drunken Monkey, and I totally enjoyed it.
Sweet. Well, maybe I'll have to check it out. What's your favorite monkey-related comic?
Without a doubt, it's The Humans. And
oh, darn, I was going to guess that one. Is that the one where they're on the motorcycles?
Motorcycle, yeah, without a doubt. But boy, you know, it runs the gamut because DC has Detective Chimp, and I love that.
Ooh.
And yeah, I like the monkey comics. There's not enough.
Is there a Donkey Kong comic?
There must be. There's a comic for
It seems
everybody.
like that would transfer over really well.
Yeah. And there's got to be another monkey I love in the comics. Oh,
I mean, there's a lot of monkey sidekicks, but like as the main character.
Yeah,
you know?
Ampersand from Why the Last Man. You know.
Oh yeah. I think
he's a funny monkey, but
he's still like a third character.
Yeah.
He's not the main.
He hardly did anything in the comic.
Yeah, he's like the monkey from Speed Racer or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the 2 twins. The twins have a monkey.
Oh right. Wonder Twins have a monkey.
The Wonder Twins have a monkey. Who's that?
I don't remember the name of the monkey in
that
Wonder Twins. I'm gonna say George.
Good. Oh, Curious George.
Oh, Curious George. That's the
He's
best
the main
monkey.
character. That might be my favorite monkey lead in a comic. Because that's like, I'd count that as a comic almost.
Oh yeah, that's like the original.
Kind of in that vein.
That's the original comic book. But that's not the comic book we're talking about tonight. We're going to talk about the Saga of the Swamp Thing.
So I got the full $9. What do you call it?
That's it's probably in this setting. It's probably 12 books. It's 12 issues.
Okay. The 12 issue 20 through 32, and mine came with this pretty good introduction, written by Len Wein. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Wein.
Len Wein.
Len Wein, yeah.
Who was talking about how he created the comic, and then it was kind of a passion project, and then it became a movie, and then when the movie came out, he was already done with it. But he thought, hey, it'd probably be smart to, if you're doing a movie, to have the comic come back. But I don't want to do it because I created Wolverine and I got bigger fish to fry in this world. I thought that was cool. He was the guy who created Wolverine.
Yeah, he's your guy. That's very cool. I didn't know that.
Good dude, this guy, Swamp Thing. So reading that, I'm like, oh, now I want to read like the original one. Even before I'd even started this one, I'm like, oh, maybe I should start at number 1, but I do also like Alan Moore because Watchmen, and it has a place in my heart as the first comic I ever read. So I was real excited to start this up, and I was thinking it was going to be pretty good on the heady side of a thriller type comic. And then there's also a foreword by Ramsey Campbell, but for some reason I didn't read that one.
But I'm glad that you did read the foreword because that gives you some basis for
it tells you a little bit about the Swamp Thing and what it is, or how it kind of described him as a halfway between a thriller and a superhero. And I'd never really thought of the Swamp Thing as having like superpowers, but it made me more excited for it.
I'm glad that you say that because this first issue, which we started with Alan Moore's first issue, which is actually issue 20 of this run.
Of this reboot.
Oh, and it was exactly that, a reboot of this character. And he's taking over. And so when we talk about the next issue of your favorite comic, I think that might be a stretch here because you never know,
There's a lot of referencing to the older stuff, like the characters. It's almost like he has to tie up so this first issue is called Loose Ends. It's like he has to tie up the loose ends of whatever happened in the first 19 issues, so that way he can move on to his vision of what he wants Swamp Thing to do.
And he does it nicely here.
He does a really good job. So it's almost like this is almost like a last issue.
Right, yeah, because he does put a few things to bed, especially two characters that you don't see, or you don't see, you don't even see them starting here, but you just see sort of this vision or a whiff of what they were.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to the characters, but
yeah, and there's a lot of destruction and everything's dying and the world is being destroyed around the Swamp Thing. I won't get to the end right at the beginning, but it's basically the plot. There isn't a lot of plot that goes on other than the military has tried to destroy the Swamp Thing, and now it's really gonna do it.
Well, is it the military or is it the private industry?
The private industry disguised as the military. You're right, Larry.
Right.
Because the guy, I do like. There's some good dialogue moments here and some good lines where the guy's like, if we say that it's a federal, if it's a matter of national security, we can get away with anything.
And that character that they're talking to when they give that whole spiel to is just happy to help, and he's smoking his cigars. Hey guys, you need any help with that?
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I like that scene. But let's talk about this cover because I think this has got cover of the year for me.
Oh, I think it's definitely got potential.
It has potential. It's a great, fantastic, old school comic book cover. Saga of the Swamp Thing, DC up in the corner. This is kind of reminiscent of, hey, here's a little plug for a podcast that I like to listen to. It's called Seattle's #1 comic book podcast. I was just listening to, episode, 116, and it was, Batman Year One. And Batman Year One has not the same cover, but this old school vibe to it. And this has got old school vibe all over the place.
Yeah, it definitely does. And you can see it a lot in the art, and you can see it even in not the dialogue, but the paneling, the word bubbles, how easy it is. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things that kind of hint the era to it.
Yeah. So this cover is just Swamp Thing being gunned down by faceless army men in in army man clothes, and then 3 helicopters above him just shooting him down, and he's making a run for it. It is gorgeous. Lots of color, lots of background, silhouette. It's just cool looking. 75 cents.
And I actually think that the Swamp, even though some of the art isn't my favorite within the book, I think the Swamp Thing as a monster might be my favorite non-human, humanoid, whatever creature category you put different things in.
Yeah, he's cool.
He might be my favorite.
Yeah, he's a cool design.
I'm not sure who number 2 would be, but, maybe it'd be the Hulk. Maybe it would be Goon. Maybe it'd be. There's a few pretty good main characters, but Swamp Thing's my new favorite.
Yeah, he is such a cool looking character because he's green. He's got veins. He's got I
really like his face.
Yeah, he's got this
it's a weird nose,
V-shaped nose things happening, and yeah, he's cool looking, and we see a lot of him in this first issue. And
he is in almost every panel,
but
if not, or on every page, if not, and actually one of my favorite things about this is the paneling. The panel style is really cool because sometimes he won't be there, but there'll be panels in the page, and he's like on the side of the panels looking in.
Oh yeah, that is cool.